So for those of you that missed the webinar last week, we're now going to quickly run through how to log into the new portal and configure a new user with a SIP trunk. So once you've logged into the CommsOne portal as normal, you click on the SIP and Hosted link. You should have been sent a letter with your new username and password in for this particular portal. If you haven't got those details, have a word with your account manager and they'll send those details through to you. Once logged in and you want to create a new SIP trunk customer, you go to the New Customers tab and fill in the customer's details. Make sure that the information that you put in here is correct, as this information is used by the 999 Emergency Services database for any calls made to their service from any of these numbers. You've got a drop down here to actually limit or restrict how much they spend on a daily basis. The hosted button at the moment is restricted as the control panel is not complete, so for the next 2 weeks this facility is unavailable. So click on the SIP trunks, as that's what this demonstration is for, and click on next. Each of the fields that we need to use to configure the SIP trunk has an icon at the end of it, which if you put your mouse over, it actually explains each field to you in detail. First, select the number of channels that you require. Then in the direct IP address, if you put the public IP address of your PABX in here, it doesn't need to register with our service. And for security, you can restrict calls only from this IP address, stops anybody being able to use your trunk on another box with a different IP address. It's recommended you use this. Then you allow the destinations and times for calls that you want it to make. So by default it can't make any calls at all. So simply choose from the drop downs the times and the frequencies that you want the calls to be able to be made. If you want any inbound numbering, this is the point at which you need to add them. So you hit the select button. It's got a full UK geographic coverage, so just simply choose the location. It shows you all of the numbers. You can click multiple numbers and you can see they're appearing in this window behind me. You can filter them ending in, or you can just take the full range as it appears. You can add multiple geographic locations at the same time, so you've got lots of numbers you want to add. You can do it all at the same time on here. It's unlimited how many numbers you can add. Hit done, they appear in the window, and scroll in the list. You can remove them if you decide that you don't actually want them at this point. We've got a couple of numbers left there. If you wish to use call recording, tick the box to enable it. The out of the box option is 30 days, then the oldest is overwritten by the newest. There's also an FTP option whereby you can enter in a username and a password and an FTP address, and you can then specify daily, weekly or monthly, and the call recordings can be FTP'd off for you. The format is the number that called, the number they were calling, the time and the date of the call, .wav. It's great for people like financial services who need to keep call recordings for several months as opposed to folk who just want it for 30 days. Only enable it if you need it. And there's a terms of use box down here which you need to tick to be able to move forwards. There's a really good guide on the ITSPA's website. She tells you how to protect your box from hacking and fraud. It is worth pointing out that all of these features up here that I've just shown you that we've walked through to configure it make the trunk pretty watertight. I don't think anyone else is offering this kind of security for you at the moment, so it's a great place to set these up and have them. Once you're happy, you've ticked the box, hit the next button. This now shows you the username, password, etc. for the trunk. You can right click here and you can print that off, and you can also find it in the customers field, which we'll look at now. So we've added the customer. Here it is in the customers tab. There's the account number. Click on the account number, it opens the control panel for this particular customer. If we go down here to SIP trunk, this is the trunk that we just created. These are the details I was just showing you that you could print out. They're there if you need them, and if for any reason you didn't add your IP addresses in or set in the restrictions that you wanted or set up call recording, you can go and you can modify this at any time that you want to. You can add your number, change your number of channels. Everything's ultimately configurable. As I said, there are some options in here that are greyed out. These will in the next 2 weeks be clickable just like the others, and you'll be able to use hosted seats as well. But for now, this is for SIP trunks. If you want to add some telephone numbers in here, you can just do it in this field, just add telephone numbers. Just like we did before, choose the area that you want and click the button and they appear. There's also a knowledge base, so if you've got any questions that haven't been answered in the icons next to each of the fields, or there's anything that I haven't covered, most of them should be covered off in here. It's worth having a look through. But if you think of a question and it isn't covered in here, if you just speak to support, they'll be happy to answer your question. We can even get an engineer to remote onto your PC and help you set up the trunk if you're getting stuck. So just to cover off the 4 initial screens that you see when you log into the portal, you've got Manage My Hosted PBX. You've already got an account set up with a hosted seat. So if you want to try the hosted seat option, you've already got one in there set up. And then you click on all the details for general, voicemail, diverts, call recording. If you'd like a hand getting this set up, just have a word with support and we'll get someone to talk to you and walk you through. Put the MAC code for your phone onto the system and do a remote session if needs be. But if you want to test that, just let us know. Call records will show you all and any calls that you've made in the current month, and this drop down will populate with previous months as well. Telephone numbers is the current 0843 allocated to your account. You can add additional telephone numbers in here, just like we did for the SIP trunk, just by selecting the destination, choosing the numbers and hitting add. One thing to bear in mind, you can add numbers in here but you can't remove them, so only add the ones you actually want. There's call groups in here which will become more pertinent once the actual hosted options are available. Again, it'll be a couple of weeks and we'll run another one of these to show you how to do this properly. But just wanted to show you you've actually got your own control panel in there. We can personalise this for you with your own logos if you just want to send those in to us, and ask support, they'll give you the dimensions for those. If you want to add some portal users, just hit the add button, put in a username and a password, and they can then log into this as well. Again, if you want to remove anybody. Any service announcements we'll put in here, and if you port numbers in and out of the service, you'll actually see the statuses that all appear in here. It's live, so this is a great place to come if you actually want to find out what's going on with number porting or what's going on with the service. And we'll add some more documentation in here with regards to all the bits and pieces that are there. So basically, that's your home page. Your customer list is here, and there's a knowledge base too. And when you finish using it, just hit the log out button and you're safely logged out. And that concludes this demonstration.